Oh, we are ready to go. We got Kitty here, we got me here, we got my better half here, and we Khura'in trials. So this is going to be interesting. I wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday, but if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe. Nick, today don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Is this that guy? Oh no. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this, you shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Huh. Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial.
But she hasn't even seen the future yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the past. Because she hasn't done the
seance. That's what I don't get with her. But if she grew up thinking lawyers are scum and yada yada, then she just thinks whoever's accused is the one who did it.
Signs execution orders without even looking at them.
Yeah. He was looking at me and you the whole time. I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce me to the Plume Punisher, warrior of Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right. I may be a defendant this time, but I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on loyals. I need all the help I can get. Lawyers, not lawyers. What the heck is that? Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. You know, I've also wondered, too. She's trying to keep the spirit channeling thing a secret, but I wonder if during the trial, Mia will pop up somewhere. You know, maybe when I really need it or something.
Or maybe she'll channel the priest.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though, Mia coming back? You know, I wanted a nice afterlife, but instead I'm still working.
And look, there's Sadmati.
Sadmati. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh. Is that what it said? Your Majesty. Whoops, force a habit. Quiet, can't you see Prosecutor Sadmati is absorbed in silent prayer? Great, the trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well, Your Majesty. In addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well, then. The criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyer seems to be a custom of sorts here in Khura'in. I must say, I'm surprised to see you still here in Khura'in, Mr. Wright, and even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial.
But he should be opened because he saw last time that there's flaws in their judicial system. Like, wouldn't he just be like, oh, hey, cool, it's you again?
Yeah,
or
like...
he's mad.
Or, yeah, maybe he's still, like... Maybe, oh, it was a fluke, a one-off. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Such foolishness. Ah, Prosecutor Sadmati, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty, the prosecution is ready. Let us begin, without further delay. This. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Ha 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 ha! Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmati. Please save the victim's soul, Prosecutor Sadmadhi. Punish the wicked lawyer who dares to stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So it was you who instilled that putrid lawyerly guile within him. Putrid what? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick.
Wow, lost a life and she's still pretty chipper.
Well, I guess she's gotta be. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmadhi, will you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Trusted Me. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbad dagger, which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found. The scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder. The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Khura'ism. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two of the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. Now, I must say, this does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. In Khura'ism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. A broken lantern, lantern, 2 curtains, the spring. Okay. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling?
What?
There, she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years?
That does sound like hell.
That is a terrible fate indeed. Would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone. I don't have that dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she had no motive to kill the high priest in the first place. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Rafa Padma Khura'in's insights. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess.
It'd be cool if she showed something that didn't implicate Maya, though.
That would be cool.
Because she doesn't know it until she does this thing, right?
Yeah, apparently. And Maya's supposed to be cast out. Oh, how beautiful her benevolence looks again today. Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Khura'in, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Or Dihara Khura'in. I gotta say, I was not expecting the lowest level of hell to be 500 million years of tickling. That is something. I thought I would have thought of that. Yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, your benevolence. Now then, your benevolence, the divination seance, if you please. Very well. Nana, my robe.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I've also wondered if there's some type of a hoax where, like, the pool, there's something broadcasting over there. But I don't know how they got Albie's.
Yeah, face.
I still don't really know if she's for real.
I mean, I can see it being for real. But, like, it's clear, like, for Albie's, it did show what was going on. It's just that Albie didn't do it. Alright, let's see what we have.
It's a broken lamp.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh dear. Oh, it's gonna be scary when he puts that down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Footsteps, incense, pain.
We can't prove it was Maya.
Yeah. Maybe if he just was looking at Maya and she just looked at him and stabbed him. The victim's Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great, another clearly incriminating seance vision. Oh, come on, Phoenix. It could not be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim.
Well, what's the point to do that? She could have just killed him and still in the...
Yeah, she could have just had the dagger. Why would you even have that on? Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbott in me must have felt.
I'm confused. Why is he calling Abbott in me and then trust in me?
Let's see. There's trust in me.
Is that Abbott? Nothing?
Trust Abbott in me? Abbott trust... I don't know.
Because they keep using it interchangeably. And I thought that The guy who was super devout that had no shoes on was Abbott.
That's what I thought,
Who's
too.
this guy? We haven't seen him before.
This guy?
Yeah.
Zeh'lot. Zeh'lot.
Was he the devout guy who was bent over with his feet?
I think so, yeah. Because he's a zealot, basically, yeah.
Yeah, but they keep calling him Abbott in me. Unless that's what they mean, like an abbot as in a monk, and his real name is Trust in me.
You know, if it's that simple, then I feel like an idiot. Also, I didn't know Maya was older than Emma. Didn't even occur to
She's
me.
27, how old is?
But you know, when I think about it, when we were with Maya and then we met Emma, Emma was really young, so they're actually around the same age.
How
So
old is Trust in me? 42.
really, looks like 62
How
to
old is
me.
Believe in me?
31.
Maybe she's in on it. She doesn't want to be his wife. I mean, there's a 11-year age gap there.
Yeah.
And she didn't look pregnant when we were talking to her. I'm just saying. I'm getting a little suspicious.
Let's see what it is. Maya's like, do something. I'm working on it. That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. Explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. Transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. Heh, so you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insight yet again? It would seem lawyers are poking in creatures indeed. Look at it, poking in. What exactly is a poking in? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. We commence the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. As the first part of the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. What's he got to say? You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. Ooh. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appear in the pool of souls? It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me, too. I don't know. Sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insights last time. So, there could be contradictions between what Abbott and me felt and her insights, huh? You got it. I'm going to find them this time, too.
I think it's crime scene photo.
Begins with a transformation, right? The high priest reads scripture. Access the right of water. Should I check how to point out contradiction in Rafus infight? We already did it. We're okay. Now I remember how it works. Still, the sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the one from Alby's trial. In which case, I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too. Okay, time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights. So let me go with it. Bow to the lanterns. There's the wind. But see, the footsteps don't come till after.
Can you look at a picture from Khura'in?
Yes.
Oh, I guess he does have purple.
Yeah.
Not underwater. So that's okay.
I think it's purple, because look, see how it's purple above and then it's red below for his leg? So yeah. I think it was a good eye still. I'm glad you noticed that.
Because I was wondering, what if the last thing he saw... no. I was gonna say, what if he's in there? Because we'd still be seeing... Well...
Yeah, see, I don't see any footsteps.
So he heard them. Okay.
Yeah, so there's no... So maybe... Let me wait till the footsteps come. Okay, so... Yeah, see, he doesn't hear any footsteps until here.
Objection!
That's not going to help us, because then it's just going to be...
The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps, but did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because the timing doesn't make sense. Yep. The timing doesn't make any sense. There shouldn't be any footsteps. What? That's not what I meant. That is totally not what I meant, though. Oh, okay, well... I guess that's what he meant. Okay, so, right sensation, wrong thing. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Okay, so we really do gotta pay attention to those intensities. That makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. It is as they say. Even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your benevolence, perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. There we go. That's why they call him abbot. Listen more carefully. What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Sensations by deepening my communication with the mitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clear picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed mitama, I beseech you, hear me now in response to my call. Bells. Footstep changed into bells. What could this mean? Bells, but the only bells at the scene of the crime were... Ah, that jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of the bells were from the high priest's own footsteps, but he didn't move! And that means... If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was the one who was running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence and insight would have us believe. Okay, so now that's what it is. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself? Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Still your voices, this is nothing but a theory and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulations. While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sanmati? Even if it was Abbot Inme who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the high priest to approach. Ah. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It's as simple as that. Oh, right. It doesn't really change much, does it? Yeah, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer, that contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. See, the fact that it was Abbot Inme who moved changes nothing. Alright, come on, Phoenix, you gotta keep it cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Okay. So, we have the wind, incest, bells, water. Did the water? I don't think the water was there before. Because here's the thing. If...
Here's what I've I've been wondering, why was there so much blood on that bird thing in the fountain?
Yeah.
Could he have backed into it and we didn't see his back?
Which could be it, but why, if he's running toward her, would he be feeling water when he's walking away from the water? Because the water's behind him. Oh dear. Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? I think not. Exactly, that's where the inconsistency lies. I think it's water, I just think,
At a different point?
yeah. Yeah, so he rushed to the accused. This is where it should be.
Objection!
Hold it! How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? Huh, that's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbot Inme would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. So she must be at the fountain, and he must be away from it, which is the reverse of what the rite's supposed to be. It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh? Yes, and the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring, and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring. Palunka, that is absurd! This means the accused's location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Then, where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira robe? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here.
Take that!
Until this moment, we all just assumed that Abbot Inme and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rights guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite. The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth? Is that even possible?
That's enough!
Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never think ahead. You cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster, and she clings to the first possible counter to the contradiction that she can muster after sweating a bit. Sounds like Princess Rafa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? Huh, I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you try to deny it, or you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick? Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come out of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rafa's insights. That's right, we now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record, and confirm where Maya and Abbot Inme were standing. And then focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights. So he's saying, take another look at the inner sanctum diagram. So he was running toward her by the spring.
Mm-hmm.
There are the lanterns, there are the curtains, broken lantern behind him. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's great. Kitty's throwing up under the...
What is happening?
She's throwing up.
That's gross.
I mean, I can just not play it until we get a paper towel.
Oh.
I don't want to do it either. Let's just do it after we're done playing. Oh my god, honey. You can either clean it up, or we're not gonna pick it up till later. Because you know if you stay on this chair, you might get tired.
Is this recording?
Yeah.
This is disgusting. Shame to yourself.
Maybe.
I can't see it.
Well, I'll see if I can find a contradiction while you're doing it. How about that? Right underneath. I know where it is. I'll wait for you to come back.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm very nice. Alright, so this is where it is. Okay. Notice the wind, right? See how that candle is flickering? But that's the broken one.
Okay.
So that means he's in the spring again. So that means she's actually by the broken one at that point, not by the spring.
Objection!
And switch spots.
Yeah, so he must have been walking around, switch spots. I don't get the water then, because that still doesn't make sense. I found a new contradiction. You did? Huh, no doubt of this, but another one of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope, take a good look at what the victim saw and might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There was nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards, so neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Heh. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. Oh, so she's in hell. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Oh, blessed Mitzvah, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. Huh? The lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. Why? Sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitma. Nick, don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving toward her, so I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. So you can see this stuff clearly now. Okay, so arrest the accused. Whoops. Incest pain.
Not incest, incense.
I did say incense.
I said incense.
I certainly hope not.
Not either.
It's weird that he still doesn't feel the water, though. But, I don't know. Let's take a look at this again. So,
That one's broken.
yeah.
And it's missing the wind guard.
So, yeah, because the last one has all its stuff on it, but not this one. So, I still think there's something wrong with that. Yeah, see? It's not broken anymore.
Right.
So... So they switched positions.
Objection!
Oh, what? I mean, we're definitely correct about what we're seeing.
See the Lady Kira.
Yeah, because clearly, here he's by the spring. So he's walking, really, at this point. So...
That one?
Thing is, he is going to the Springside Lantern at this point, because those lanterns are good. Maybe it's here?
Objection!
I still hear the music. Oh. We may have to consult on this. Consult. Maya, I can't find any contradictions. Come on, Nick, a bit early to throw in the towel, don't you think? But I didn't notice anything wrong with the sensations that appeared as words just now. Well, then maybe the contradiction is in what Abbott in me saw. I think there's something fishy about the things that we can see more clearly. Well, I know that! We should focus not only on not only the sensations, but the updated insights as well. Right, thanks, Maya.
Objection!
Ah,
See?
yeah. It's saved. Like, it's weird. I know I'm on the right track. I just don't know where that's a contradiction exactly. Let's try here.
Objection!
I did save, so I can always load that, but... let's see what she says again. Well, then maybe the contradiction is in what Abbott and we saw. I think there's something fishy about the things that we can more clearly see now.
So
We know it's the lantern, which should focus on not only the sensations, but the updated insights as well.
is the other one intact or is it broken? Like, is she coming together?
Well, that's the thing. So when they're standing here, he's looking at the broken one. So here they're actually in the correct positions.
They're both broken.
No, they're not. See, that one's good. But that one's not. See how it's missing a bunch of stuff? But when we come back, it's intact. So,
Let's see the other one. Is it broken?
and we can't see it. So, let's look at the updated insights again. So, lantern, that's the first portrait. Da 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 da. Yeah, so here, here the positions are reversed. When he dies, these are their positions. Yeah, so that's what we're seeing. So he's bowing. There's the broken one. So all is as it should be. This would be the Springside Lantern, but
We also can't see them.
yeah. Let's see. When we're looking at her here, we can't see the other ones. first one. There's the broken one. Well, let's see. Maybe we're not there yet. Is there something off maybe with the costume? Looks like the same costume.
Is it one or two for the crime scene?
The other one was the shoveled stuff by the broken lantern. Tried to fire off a spring lantern.
Is it the incense? How can they smell the incense if there's wind? I don't know.
No.
I just feel like we're on the right track, but I don't understand where we're
Yeah, because the lanterns are clearly different. Like, we see that easy. Oh, and notice this too. Notice how there's nothing behind this lantern, but when we look at the other lantern, you can see the dividers. So... let's see. And...
Objection!
on the right track, I know we are. This is...
Objection!
I am so confused.
Objection!
What?
Didn't we try this?
I thought we tried that already. The lantern clearly contradicts the insight, but this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. I mean,
They switch places again.
yeah. Are you all right, Mr. Wright? One minute you shout out, and the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sadmathi? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken, and if you watch what Abbot Inmee saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Fey is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be? And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell Maya and Abbott Inme's position. I mean, that makes sense. Where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully it has led us here, to the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. Well, you know what I think's clear? Maybe he was walking toward Maya Fey, and then when he looked the other way, he saw Lady Kira in the fountain, and something's totally off about that when Maya should be right next to him. And probably Maya was, like, on the ground. Yeah. The defense keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Show us where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Based on the location of the broken lantern, where was Maya really standing? The original spot.
Take that!
I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring... No, this is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned toward the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How could no one... Yeah! There was a moment where the scripture the victim was holding was all he could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was, in fact, turning around in that moment.
Objection!
That's where he saw the actual killer. If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain
Objection!
that? I don't need to explain anything because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sanmati. Her benevolence's insight don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence. A huge error, you say? Do explain. The huge error is the order of the rites, the crime scene, the number of people that... The number of people! Yeah. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a sutra when suddenly he sensed something behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be! Oh, but it can, and it is. The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Polanka! Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime?
Well, duh.
Yeah.
We've maintained that from the beginning.
Have I misunderstood the voice of the Mitama yet again? This cannot be! Oh, she faints.
Fair.
Phew, that was a close one. But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Look, she's gonna start downing herself, but she's honestly doing a service with these visions. Like, they're good. They just not in the way in her mindset they should be used, but they're still good. My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world, and in that time I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking the saints. Yes, of course, forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. I guess he really does think that highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. Then again, he is an international prosecutor who's solved tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down, huh? Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess, so I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. This third party must have really wanted to kill the high priest. I might be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of their murderous intent. Yes, we do. I also want to... Okay, so that's the updated design. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ugh. Not even a bless you. Thank you. While we're waiting, Mr. Wright, the evidence that can reveal the identity of a third party is this. So it's not... I mean, it could be a letter, if we knew what it said.
Take that!
3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. He did? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the high priest. The letter said, "Do not perform the rite." But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the high priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? A person with something to hide, the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. Peace. I don't understand. I had heard the Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the high priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the high priest had secretly been a rebel? The high priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel. What'd you say? The high priest, a devout follower of Khura'ism, a rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Hey, that was a... Yeah.
I saw it coming.
Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first, but as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible. The third party was the rebel-hunting Lady Kira, and the high priest was a rebel. Your mockery of Khura'ism, no. Of the kingdom of Khura'in itself knows no bounds. Whoops. That shameless Pelunkin lawyer, him's making a mockery of our religion. As a faithful Khura'inist, I take issue with these claims, and I am loath to admit them in today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? Abbot Inmi was a distinguished monk and very well respected too, so yeah.
Our last little monk in this Korean or whatever was a crazy metalhead murderer.
Yeah.
Monk. Metalhead murdering monk.
Yeah, and he was, like, making everybody sing weird stuff, including Phoenix. But fear not, good people of Khura'in. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned toward Miss Fey? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection.
Are you sure about that?
You?
You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is as yet still in my hands. How can you be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts.
What's anybody else up there? It's like a trek to get up there.
Yeah. An eyewitness? Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand.
It's that crazy guy.
Yep. Yippity yep. It's him again. Well now, he has to be the shaggiest witness I have ever laid eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, I'm, that's so-and-so whatchamacallit. Anonymous TBD. At least that's what they've been calling. To be determined? TBD as in to be determined? Can't you just tell us your real name? The eyewitness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anonymous TBD in my report, but he thinks TBD is part of his name.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? Have no fear, I have already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name in the past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Considering the dearth of information, any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Imus, please tell us what you saw. That night I was up at the top of Mount Pony Pony, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right of the inner sanctum. That's when I saw the accused stab the high priest with that. No, he didn't! No, he couldn't have. Yes, the liner's up. There's no way you saw Miss Fey stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about, or don't remember at any rate. Mount Pony Pony, that beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum. They must be talking about that smaller mountain from the poster. Mr. Imus, I was wondering, what can I do for you? The inner sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountaintop next to it? Good point. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Imus? On the day of the rite, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Yeah, let's take a look. It does say calm, clear skies, doesn't it? See, told you so. Well, it would appear the witness has offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Amiss, I too have a question for you. Didn't he already question the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot. How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded, its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand? Yep, I believe she was. It's called a reverse grip. I thought as much. Hold it right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, O enlightened one? Ooh, getting sassy. Feh, I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes, after your soul rights for centuries in the pits of hell, you shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin with barbs limited to your posterior. you shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. That was a bit excessive. I simply asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. Now pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what action she took. You were saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip. What? Thus, Mr. Imus's testimony clears up any doubts that might remain.
That's completely different than what the vision.
Not only is it completely different than what the vision showed, but it's stupid. Why even do that? And it coincides with her benevolence. No, it doesn't! This is a disaster. No, it's not! Dude. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
And you shouldn't have seen the accused, you should have saw me.
Yeah.
Here.
Objection!
What the? I wonder if it's the other picture. That's silly. Should be either pictures.
Objection!
Am I an idiot? I guess I gotta press him on some stuff first, maybe?
I'm pressing the sensitive side.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Did you really see what you say you did? Are you saying I'm lying about this? Well, I'm not. It's etched permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you say I did. I didn't even get a chance to touch the dagger on the day of the rite. What do I know of that? All I know is what I saw. I've never even seen you before in my life. Possible reason could I have to lie? Erg. I didn't expect there to be any witnesses way up there. But I don't remember doing that at all. I know, I have a feeling the witness is lying. There has to be an inconsistency somewhere in his testimony.
Hold it!
You had a pair of binoculars with you. That's pretty convenient. You weren't planning to spy on the right all along, were you? Actually, I just happened to happen for bird watching. Bird watching, huh? I see. You're not going to keep pressing him on this. He's sketchy as heck, but I don't really have anything I can really sink my teeth into yet. Oh, okay then. Har, 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 har. I love the great outdoors. That's just the kind of guy I am. A guy called Anonymous TBD. He's really starting to get on my nerves. As I lifted my binoculars, I couldn't believe what was unfolding before me. I don't understand why this is happening. That's the first one I did. What I'm trying to see is... Let me press him on some other stuff.
Hold it!
Are you sure you're not mistaken, Mr. and Miss? Was it really Mount Pony Pony that you climbed? Oh, I'm sure of it. It was a really pony-ish mountain. What does that even mean? You know, now that I think about it, it was a mighty fine view.
Hold it!
If you hate crowds, why bother climbing to the top? Couldn't you have just as easily prayed at the bottom of Mount Pony Pony? Wrong, bucko. This is a once-a-year epic event. I wanted to pray as close to the actual thing as possible. If you're so gung-ho about it, why didn't you go pray at the Plaza of Devotion? Like I said, I hate crowds. I wanted to pray in peace. Oh, Holy Mother, why do I only get the annoying ones? And my burning faith demanded that I climb up the mountain closest to the inner sanctum. Also...
Hold it!
Since nobody was around, there is nobody who could corroborate your actions either. Hee-ho, you're exactly right. In that case, Mr. Immis, let me ask you this. Was there a reason you didn't want to be seen? Oh, about that. If you get caught climbing the surrounding mountains on the day of the rite, you can get in big, big trouble. Har, 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 har. That's it? Yeah, it's totally embarrassing getting yelled at when you're a grown-up. Har, 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 har. Yeah, you're a real grown-up, all right. And since nobody was around, I lost all inhibition, and... Looks like you can't count on your bluffing skills to save your butt this time. Yeah, this is a tough one. Well, to me, there's something about this one statement that seems off. Yes, it does sound a little strange, doesn't it? Thanks, Mai. I'll take another look at the evidence. You can always count on me. Okay, so this is the statement that is off.
Objection!
And... That's okay, we'll get our 5 lives back. Here's the thing, if it has to do with the blinders, both of those pieces of evidence should be acceptable.
Right.
Like, that's kind of silly.
Objection!
There we go. Your Majesty, I had my doubts about this bushy-bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him. What? You ain't just judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are you? Not at all, Mr. Immis. It's much more than your sketchy appearance, it's your sketchy testimony. His testimony, you say? Yes, recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. Why, yes, I believe you're right. The curtain would have completely blocked the witness's view from Mount Pony Pony. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. Hoo-ha! Mr. Immis, have you been knowingly making false statements to this court? Ya got me! The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused yourself. He didn't actually see the accused yourself? What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight, I beg ya.
So you're a liar?
Yeah. Seriously. Liar, liar, plans for hire. I saw their shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. Oh my god. The figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. She was just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused, reverse gripping that dagger.
How can you tell she had the clothes on, or somebody, whoever's the murderer?
Yes. It's like, ugh. That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadows projected onto the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Immis, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my main man, Mr. Magistrate, chalk it up to my fuzzy memory. Though he saw but shadows, it is still valuable testimony. You have to be kidding me. What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is to look for inconsistencies between the actual rite and what Mr. Immis says he saw. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness once more?
Hold it!
Hang on. How do you know it was Miss Fey if all you saw were shadows? It was that little bun on top of her head. Didn't need to see her face. That distinctive bob's a dead giveaway. Never underestimate my keen sense of observation. Har 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 har, now that's a funny haircut. It's not nice to make fun of a girl's hairstyle. I like my hair this way. Besides, you're one to talk, you Sasquatch.
Yeah.
You're not into this wild, manly look I'm sporting? Shows what you know, little girl. Har 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 har. Nick? Isn't there some kind of crime you can charge him with? I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. Now he claims he only saw shadows. His testimony has sketchy written all over it. There must be an inconsistency in there somewhere. Yep. Is he really watching everything from Mount Pony Pony? If so, then I should see how his testimony lines up with the conditions of the right. I mean, the thing is, he should be seeing Lady Kira somewhere.
Right.
So, let me see.
Objection!
Boo! Maybe it's the crime scene photo where the Lady Kira costume is.
Objection!
Nope.
That's so hard.
I don't know. Because I feel like we're on the right track all the time. But... are we on the right... So that's the one. Okay, let's press on that first.
It's not still not the wind thing.
That's true.
Because they also have to perform the ritual under a certain kind of full moon's true.
Nah. When the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. And he's saying full moon and a clear and still night.
Go back to the moment. So, there was a full moon.
Well, let's continue with this press here. Of course I did. The bright moonlight projected them onto that curtain cliff. Wait! It shouldn't project if the moon is directly above them.
So is it that guide?
Yeah, it's that guide. I guess the moon does shine a bit brighter when you're way up there. Maya, do you recall how bright the moon was that night? I remember there weren't any clouds and the moon was definitely out. I don't remember if it could cast any shadows. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let us...
Objection!
You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight? Sorry, but that's just not possible. What do you mean? How's it not possible that it was totally possible? That's impossible. I think I'm going to need a logical ease translation on that. Let's take a look at this rights guide, shall we, Mr. Immis? The right is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Doot doot doot. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. But Mr. Immis was standing to the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Pony Pony. Oh, Holy Mother. That's right, our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain. No. No way! Hee hee hee! Perhaps it was the sacred flames of the lanterns that cast the shadows he saw? I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. Immis claims to have seen. But I did see those silhouettes, really. But how could he, Nick? Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. He was there. Your Magistrate, if Mr. Immis really did see those shadows, it brings a brand new fact to light. And that would be... He was somewhere else. He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Doot doot doot. Oh, then where do you propose the witness was? Some place where he could have seen the shadow figures, naturally. Wait, you mean... None of the mountains east of the Inner Sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place he could have clearly seen the shadows from. Where might that be? This is where Mr. Immis was, the Inner Sanctum itself. Mr. Immis was at the Inner Sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. Hoo-ha! Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that. But wasn't the Inner Sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused? And the third party who was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's a subject Prosecutor Sadmadhi would rather not touch right now. Ah, you mean... That's right, the witness was at the scene of the crime, which means he is the mysterious third party we saw during the divination seance. He could be the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest. Googie! What? No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the Inner Sanctum, and the only way up there are the stairs that start down to the Plaza of Devotion. So tell me, how do you propose the witness enter that sacred place? Oh, he must have, I haven't thought that far. He's the prisoner. The sanctum has sheer cliffs on the three sides and a steep, towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Immis was at such an inaccessible location is but a bid to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right? Right, I wasn't at the Inner Sanctum. No sir, no how. At least I'm pretty sure I wasn't. Then, what about those silhouettes you claim to have seen? I'm trying to think I've been imagining things. What? That is insane. I knew we couldn't trust that lawyer. He's trying to frame the witness. Peace, I say. This is impossible. Unless I can show how he got to the Inner Sanctum, it just looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Immis. I believe in you, Nick. Rah rah, sis boom bah. Fight, Mr. Wright. Just look at the accused. Has she no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know. She's got some nerve for a criminal. I bet that lawyer poisoned her mind. Please, Maya, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now. I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any more sudden outbursts. Yes, Your Majesty. If I wasn't the bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Immis, I would like you to think back carefully before you testify next about where you were that night. That is a good stopping point. Because now, we are going to start the witness testimony, so that'll be a good place to start our next play. So next time, he will describe why he wasn't there. We have played for 1.5.
Okay. I held out pretty good.
You held out pretty good. Not good enough. No, but that was good. We got 2 nice sessions, so...
And what did we play earlier today?
48 minutes.
Okay.
So, just to wrap it up, so I think the interesting thing is that he's very suspicious, but there's a lot of stuff in the court record we have no answer for. So, I don't know if the trial really ends here, or if we're going to have to investigate more. What?